Microphone. Got to turn the microphone on. What's going on, YouTube? It's Trev. Some things been going on today on Twitter, right? On Station. And we're going to chat about them a little bit. First, I want to tell you, I realize that not everyone who is watching this is from the United States. So some of the things that I might refer to, you may not be familiar with. So I'll try to explain it, right? So there are a couple different areas in the United States that are indicative to particular mindsets or ideologies, or whatever you want to call it, right? For instance, and if you're in the United States, you're aware of this, but if you're not, you might not be. Like the southeastern portion of the United States, some of the southern states, right, still have that kind of antiquated feelings or mindset about race and about race relations, about maybe certain races being superior, or this race is this race is that, right? That stems back from some really olden days, slavery and stuff like that, right? People still haven't gotten out of that mindset. If you move into like the middle of the United States, particularly like the northern kind of, middle of the states, that's what we call the Bible Belt. And in the Bible Belt, it's just like what it sounds, right? This camera, I got to get another camera. This one's always zooming in and out. Anyway, Christian morals, Christian ideals, and everybody believes kind of a certain way. It's a lot of church, right? Now, if you grew up in either of these areas, and you went to school in these areas, this is where your family's from, whatever. You begin to believe, because all of your friends, all of your family, everybody again that you work with, go to school with, whatever, everybody kind of feels the same way and kind of lives life the same way. You start to believe maybe that everybody feels that way. Everybody thinks that way. And it's not until possibly you get out of these areas, maybe there's, for like younger people, right? They're lucky. Maybe there's no opportunity where they're from, or maybe they go off to college somewhere or whatever. It's not until you actually get out of those really tight circles and realize that there are other perspectives out there. As a matter of fact, you start to realize that what you grew up knowing all of your life was actually a very minute portion of the world, of different ideas and ideals. You meet some people, right? Maybe some people that, you previously thought were bad people because maybe that's what you were told, right? When you're exposed to different perspectives and a bunch of stuff like that, possibly your mind can open and you begin to see things on a broader scale. Well, I think that's very human. I think it happens on like a macro kind of like that, right? Like I'm talking about, like everybody around you feels that way. But you can even bring it into like certain businesses and companies. They call it a certain culture or whatever. So maybe bring it down to kind of more of a micro level. I don't know what it's called. There must be like a name for that. I'm not sure what that phenomenon is that makes you think that everybody must think the way you and everybody around you thinks. But whatever it is, whatever the word for that is, it can only be what explains this this proposal, and the person who posted it. And I don't know that we know who posted it yet. I don't know if anybody's actually kind of owned up to this or taken credit for it. But this is text proposal number 11383, and it is to remove Zaradar from the L1 task force in Q2. First off, this is a very unintelligent proposal for the reason that you can't do that anyway. You can't do that by proposal, right? But that's a whole thing. Other than that, I've got to guess, as a matter of fact, I would probably put money on it, that whoever actually made this proposal, you're in certain chat rooms, Discord rooms, certain Telegram rooms. You probably follow certain people on Twitter and they maybe follow you. And the discussions that you have every day and what you are bombarded with every day is the people that hate Zaradar. And Zaradar is this, and Zaradar is that, and Zaradar doesn't take care of this. He lies to the community, he lies to them about the security, he lies, whatever, right? And I think what you don't realize, because this is what you bombard yourself with every day, is that group of people that is feeding you all that, or that you're feeding off of, is so minute. It's so small. We've shown over and over and over again that the huge majority of this community does not feel that way. Doesn't feel that way at all. So maybe when you proposed this and when you spent the coin to put this up on station, maybe you thought it was going to get some support. Maybe you thought you were going to be some kind of hero, right? Maybe you were going to finally show the community that we don't want Zaradar anymore. Maybe that's what was in your head. It must be what was in your head, because otherwise, why would you put out what you needed to put out to make this happen, right? You're sorely, sorely wrong. And this kind of speaks for itself. I mean, look at the numbers here, right? We've got yes, 0.09%, abstain, 0.65%, no, 40.77%, no, hell no, with veto, right? 58.49%. The no's equal out pretty damn close. I'm not doing the math, but pretty damn close to probably 99%, right? Nobody else feels this way. It's just you and your little friends. So this was silly. This was silly. And it should be noted with vetoed, because vetoes happen on text proposals that are scam proposals. And this is about as close to a scam proposal as you can get. The only reason for this proposal was either that you are under the delusion that the community actually feels this way, or you just wanted to create FUD. You just wanted to do something and have something that people are talking about. Well, you achieved that. But what we're talking about is that this is idiotic. So I don't know if you really got what you were hoping for. Now, listen. Zaradar can be divisive. Zaradar speaks his mind. He will tell you exactly how he feels about things, whether he feels like you're going to agree with him or not. Everyone, including whoever put this proposal up, is entitled to do that. And as a matter of fact, I've said it in the past, different perspectives and different ideas are how we all grow, right? You've got to have your mind open to different reasonings and different perspectives, right? So he's said things like the 1.2% burn tax. If that's what we're relying on, that's going to take 100 years before it ever gets us to where we want to be supply-wise, right? People who are pro-burn did not like to hear that. People who believe that we can burn our way to higher numbers and do it fast did not want to hear that. They disagree. He has said things like, maybe in 3 to 5 years, maybe we'll see a penny. Maybe we'll see half a penny. People did not want to hear that, right? They don't agree with it because we're still asking questions and we're still clicking on those clickbait titles that tell us that we're going to $1 real soon or even a penny, right? Nobody really wanted to hear those kind of things. He said, about all nodes that there's really no imminent threat here. Do they have keys? Yeah, they have keys, but for all the reasons that, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but for all the reasons that he stated, didn't feel that it was this imminent threat that some people were pushing that it was, right? Some people didn't want to hear that because they wanted They wanted to push another narrative, right? Not judging right or wrong. I'm just saying that when he doesn't agree with someone, even with someone who is on the absolute total opposite end of what he says, he will still tell you exactly how he feels about things. And that's very, very off-putting for some people who just want to hear confirmation bias. I just want to hear that it could go to a penny. I just want to hear that we could burn, and we could burn it all. I don't want to hear that we can't do that. I just want to hear that we can do it, right? It's another phenomenon where people would rather hear the fantasy than the actual reality of something, right? If the reality goes against what you're hoping to get to, you want to shut that off. So there are a lot of reasons why certain groups of people may not like Zaradar, okay? I get it. But you shouldn't not like Zaradar. If you have an opposing view, don't like his view. Don't like his opinion. Don't like things like that, right? That doesn't mean, because we're on opposite sides of an opinion, that doesn't mean that we have to be enemies, right? Here's how things should go, and this is my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, right? That's what I'm saying. You have a feeling about something. I have the opposite feeling about it. I say, I don't believe what you're saying because here are the reasons why I believe this way, right? And then you say, well, I think you're wrong about that. And these are the reasons that I believe the opposite of you. And we talk it out. Sometimes we can reach a middle ground. Sometimes we can't. And in those instances, what we do is we say, I appreciate your perspective. I don't agree with it. So let's just agree to disagree and move on from there, right? You don't have to be enemies. You don't have to fight. You don't have to hurl insults and get personal about it. That should never happen. It should never ever happen, right? When it does happen, because some people are saying, well, like let's take the security thing, right? Well, he's lying to the community about the security of this, that, and the other thing, and basically he's putting everybody at risk, right? If you believe that, make your opinion known, and many have made their opinion known on that, made it very, very clear, right? He and others have had a different opinion on it, right? But if the reason that you're doing that is because your concern is for the safety of the community, then you do what I said. You agree to disagree, but you continue to push your idea and because this is how I feel and people should know this perspective, right? And then you let everyone in the middle make up their own minds because we're all adults and it's our money, right? That's the way it's got to be. When that doesn't happen and it gets personal, when it turns into hate, when it turns into FUD, when it turns into this person's a liar and this person should be, whatever, this person, you got to kick this person off of the team. And when it gets personal like that, for me, your side of the argument just lost all credibility. Because the only reason that it gets personal like that, from what I can see, is because you're not getting something that you want. It might be recognition. It might be control. There might be some envy that maybe somebody has the attention of the community and the trust of the community and you don't. And if you had it, maybe you could do some big things, but you don't. And this person's standing in your way. I mean, I don't know, right? But it could be a lot of those things. But those are the kind of things that build up the anger in you. And now you got to lash out and now you hate this person, right? Because if it's for the community, there's no reason to ever hate anybody because they have a different idea. That's my perspective. And you can agree, and I'm sure many or some, right? Probably not many, but some are going to disagree with that, and that's fine. Leave comments in the comment section. Tell me all about why you disagree with it. But just don't tell me you're an idiot. Just don't tell me you disagree. Explain to me why you don't agree. Give me a legitimate something that I can kind of incorporate into my perspective and see if for me it makes any sense, right? That's how you do it. That's being an adult, kids. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I will talk to y'all about some other things later. But, I'm not going to give a financial advice. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do as far as that proposal goes. I'm going to guess that nothing's going to change. You got another 7 days. Maybe something will change. Maybe the tides will turn and it'll go 99% against Zaradar. I'd bet a lot of money that it doesn't change at all. And this was really a silly thing for you to do. And I hope that you can sit back and do a little self-reflection and say, why do I have this belief that 99% of the community does not share? And maybe this isn't the community for you. I don't know. All right. Ciao.